everyone, and welcome back to a brand new speed build. Today I have a modern country home, or a modernized country home, I think I end up calling it, and I am super excited to share this because I'm really happy with how this turns out. A couple of months ago when I built this, because I am still working on my backlog of builds, so I built this a couple of months ago, but when I built this, I was just really in the mood to build something in this part of Windenburg, which this is the like island part of Windenburg, which if I remember correctly, I've only built here once on the channel, and that was ages ago, and I very rarely build here because this is kind of a weird place in my mind, because like, I don't know, it feels like this place could either have like some really cute like cottages and like stuff like that, and then it could also have very modern stuff, and I think when you just log into a save file with this in this world, you will see that there are like a couple different like really modern ones, like builds that is, and then there's this like huge like Tudor style mansion. It's kind of a little weird, so I never know really what style to do here, but again, I need to do things for my save file, and so a couple of months ago was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And I kind of had a vision for this build going into it, so I kind of knew what I wanted, and in the end I think it works really well and I'm really happy with it. You of course don't have to have it in this place of Windenburg. The only thing that like kind of I catered towards it was the landscaping a little bit, but it's not like you can't have this anywhere else. Like if you want this in, I don't know, like like literally any world, you definitely can. But I feel like it fits in here, and I feel like, yeah, I don't know, I like the idea of this having been a cottage but then it's been modernized, and I think that kind of fits with this island as well, because for my save file I'm gonna have a mix between like some like older looking cottages but then also some like modern stuff, because I feel like the cottages are things that have been here for ages, and then like modern houses are like new buildings, because I don't know, I feel like if you live on this island, maybe you have a little bit of money, so like if you have newly like moved in here, you might have like built your own little cottage. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, okay, I'm basing this off of me, but I live by the coast, like by the ocean, in a way. And like we have a mix of like really older looking like houses here, but then we also have the ones that are being built now are kind of modern. I mean, I guess they would be classified as like kind of Scandinavian because they're not like ultra modern, but I don't know how to explain it, but I guess Scandinavian is the best description for it. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like it fits, and again, like this is an island and I live by the coast are two different things, but I was kind of thinking of that when I was building this. But anyways, like I said, I kind of had a vision for this house when I started it, and it was and this never happens really, but I had this very particular vision, which was the color scheme I end up going for, which is not normal. If I go into a build wanting to do something, it's like, oh, I want to build for this family, or I want to use like this, like, I don't know, this object, or like these things, and I want to use these windows, or like I want to build in this style, or whatever. But when I went into this build, I knew that I wanted to build with this color scheme and these windows, and the color scheme kind of is based off of these windows. So I ended up using the windows that came from the Horse Ranch expansion pack, and they have a few different swatches. Like I love these windows, I use them quite a lot, but I've never used them in this swatch, and it's kind of this like orangey wood, and then the middle is black, and I don't ever use this orange wood, and I have heard so many other like Sims builders talk about this, but this orangey wood is just not our cup of tea most of the time. Like most people don't like this orange wood, and I don't either. I very rarely use it. But I, again, for my save file, I want to at least like use a little bit of everything, because again, not everyone is gonna have like the same style and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I can experiment a little bit with it. I can try to make it work, and I think I made it work for this house. Obviously you can be the judge of that and let me know in the comments if you also think I kind of pulled it off, but personally I think I pulled it off, and I'm really happy with it. I don't know, again, I just never use this orangey wood. We have it with a few different packs. I think we also have it in like a few different variations, if that makes sense. Like the ones that I used, like the windows and stuff like that orangey wood that comes with like the windows and everything else that came from the Horse Ranch expansion pack, it's kind of a little bit muted. It's like a muted version of it. And you will see, again, I use the windows, but I also use the like siding for the house is that wallpaper as well. And yeah, you will see it's a little bit more muted, but then we also have like in, I think it's like Tiny Living and a few different other packs, we have the same kind of swatch, but it's very like, it's a lot more concentrated. So I don't particularly like that, but for the exterior, again, I went with this like more muted. I think in the interior, I tried to use a couple of those a little bit more like louder orangey wood tones, but I still didn't want to do it too much, but I think it ended up working really well. There also ends up being a little like shed kind of in the backyard. I really like doing greenhouses in my builds. If you have been here before, you will know that I love me a greenhouse. I just feel like they're a really good it's a really good way to like kind of section off the backyard, and I don't know, I really like them. But when I built this, I didn't want a greenhouse, so I kind of made a shed, but like a modernized shed, if that makes sense. Like it has like things that a shed would have. Like it has some like skill building items in it. I think I ended up putting the like juice machine that we have, and possibly like the candle making station, and then there's also like some planters in there, so it could work as a greenhouse. But I put like things you would just like have kind of in like an odd room, kind of like a shed. But then it has these windows that we got from the what's it called, the garden kit, what was it called, Greenhouse Haven kit, I think that's what it's called. I love those windows. I use those windows in almost all my builds, to be honest. I love those windows so much because we have them in a few different like variations. We have well, first off, we have just like it's a single tile window always, but then we have one that is just like a quote unquote like normal window, and then we have one that is opened at the top, and I like using like those like kind of next to each other to like show that, oh, they've opened like one of them. And I don't know, I love the fact that we have a window in the game that opens like that, because we don't have any other window like it, and I really wish we would, because there's like some amazing CC windows that have that, like when it's just like the top open or something like that, and I just feel like it's really realistic and it looks really cute. But then with those windows, when it comes to the swatches, we have obviously a few different color swatches, but then we also have a few different texture swatches. So we have some that are completely glass, we have one that is kind of like a gridded pattern on it, which looks a little more like industrial, and then we have like some meshed ones, which I love the mesh ones. I use them all the time, and I think for this house I end up going for a little bit more of the orange wood tone for those as well, but again, it is not this very, very loud wood tone, and I really like that. I feel like it works very well. It's kind of more a like tan, I guess, more than like a full-on orange. Is maybe a little bit more like a tan wood tone, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But yeah, I really liked using those, and I think I ended up using the mesh version of them. It could also just be the plain glass one, I don't really remember. But yeah, I really like the little shed. It's not something I really do, because I usually do a like greenhouse, and then the things I put in there I would usually put in like a garage. But I felt like it would have been really weird to have a garage here, because this is on an island. You're not gonna get here by car, you're gonna get here by boat. So yeah, I feel like that makes sense. Like, I have been on islands before, which if you if you know anything about me, you will know that I hate boats. I have a really deep fear of boats. I do not like boats. I get panic attacks on them. But my aunt has this house, like him what? Her and her boyfriend have this house like on an island. And I visit them sometimes, like during summer. It's been a couple of years now since like COVID, and then we've all just been really, really busy. But I used to visit that, and like they don't have cars there. They don't. They have like a carriage, I'm pretty sure, which is actually kind of funny. But yeah, they do not have any cars. I don't even think they have internet out there, honestly. It's like kind of like their summer house, so like they don't work from there. Like that's not their actual like all the time home, you know. But they spend their summers there and like any free time they have. So yeah, I just feel like it would be really weird to have like a car in this build. But yeah, I really like that little shed. There also ends up being a pond on this lot, which It might look a little out of place. I don't know. I feel like it fits. I used the water version that we got from, I think honestly it's Base Game. I don't actually know. But it's this like version that has some like leaves on it, and it looks a little bit more like murky water, like it looks a little more brown. So yeah, I really like that. And I did that mostly because I didn't really know what to do with that space. So I decided to do a little pond. I've been doing that a lot recently. I did it in last week's video, and I don't know, I feel like I've been doing ponds a lot. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But anyways, talking about like the family I envisioned for this house, I can't believe I haven't mentioned that yet. Also, I am so sorry for my voice. I feel like it's dying. I don't know why. I feel like it's allergy season, so in general, I'm just feeling a little bit meh. And then also I've been talking with my friends for hours now, so I literally just went out of that call. I'm still technically in that call. I'm just deafened. But I'm still, like, I just went out of that call to record, like, from talking for hours and talking now. And I've talked about before how talking in voiceovers is different because you're just talking to yourself. Like, there's no one talking to you. So I just have to blab for, like, 35 minutes, like, without anyone else talking. So it can strain a little bit of my voice, so I'm sorry if there's any like voice cracks, or I don't know, it just sounds a little weird, I don't know, a little raspy, I don't know. Anyways, for the family that I imagine living here, I imagine there's two parents and then a kid living here, and I think I also made it so they can have a cat or a dog. I think so. So it's not like a huge house at all. And something I wanted to talk about, because I feel like some people might find this weird, both the bedrooms and both the bathrooms are upstairs, which might be a little bit of an inconvenience when you find out that the only way to get upstairs is by a ladder. I really tried to fit in a staircase in this house. I just could not make it work. This house ends up being pretty small, and I just could not make it work for the life of me. I tried for so long to put in a staircase, it just didn't work. So in the end, I ended up putting a ladder. But I was thinking that the people who live here, they really like the outdoors, and they really like, they're makers, if that makes sense. Like they love making things, and I don't know, they love being outdoors. And I was thinking that they probably like go on hikes and stuff like that. So I was thinking that they're in probably like pretty good health and like pretty, I don't know, athletic. Couldn't be me, but good for them. So I was thinking that maybe it's not that hard for them to climb that ladder every day. I don't know, maybe that's just me, that I feel like going up a ladder is harder than going up staircases, although I struggle with staircases because asthma, but that's a different issue. But yeah, I don't know, maybe that's just me who thinks like that. But I was thinking that like for this family it's kind of natural, like they are living out here, so for them, I don't know if it makes sense for them to, like, just because they're living out here, it makes sense for them to have like a ladder instead of a staircase. But I feel like if I were to do like a regular family home, like a suburban family home out in, like, you know, again, suburbia, I feel like it'd be weird to have a ladder. But for this house it works, and I don't know if that's just me, and I can't really explain my thought process on that, but for me it makes sense. And then yeah, both the bedrooms are up there. The kids' bedroom ends up being a little bit like space themed. I really like it. Again, I was thinking that I think I ended up putting in like a telescope in the backyard so that the like kid sim can look out there. And I was thinking that they, like, every single night they look out and like see the stars, because obviously they're living on an island and they're living a little bit more like remotely, so there's not going to be all the like light pollution, so they can probably like actually look at the stars. And I think that's really cute. And I don't know, I just, in general, I really like this house, and I really like the idea for the family and stuff like that, because I don't know, I feel like I don't make homes like this a lot. Like, I was thinking that these are pretty like free sims. They are makers. They are kind of a little bit maybe like free spirited. They don't really confide to society's norms, if that makes sense. I feel like there's a lot of like, I don't know, again, on TikTok I feel like I see this, but then also I'm watching Criminal Minds right now, and I feel like sometimes on like shows like that you also see that they're like, in remote places there will sometimes just be these people who they just live here to, like, you know, again, just they don't really confide to society's norms. Like, they just live here to like make things and live off their land maybe a little bit. Because I also put a windmill outside, so I feel like they maybe, and some solar panels, so I feel like maybe they like generate their own electricity, and like they're kind of self-sufficient in that way, and they don't really have like 9 to 5 like corporate jobs. I feel like they spend their time out here. What they do, I'm not really sure. Maybe one of them is like a freelancer, so they work from home, because they do end up making a little bit of office space, which ends up being really cute in my opinion. And then maybe the other parent actually like sells their things, like sells their candles and juices and stuff like that, and maybe like they go in maybe like once a week to like the farmers market and sell their juices or something like that. I don't know, I feel like it's kind of a cute idea, and I haven't done anything like it in a bit. But then I also really like that it's not like a traditional cottage, because I feel like normally if I were to make something for a storyline like this, I would make it for a cottage, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, maybe in Cottage Living, what in Edinburgh Bagley, or what's the world that we got with Horse Ranch? It's gone out of my mind, but like that world, or like one of those kind of worlds. But I like that it's a little bit more like modern, like it's not as traditional. So like maybe it's like a younger couple living here and their kid, and I don't know, I really like the idea. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm just blabbing about that now. I don't know. But yeah, basically, in short, I really like the idea for this family, and I really like this house. But then also with the house, again, I knew that I wanted to use this kind of more like orangey wood tone, and again, what kind of set it off was that I wanted to use the Horse Ranch windows in that particular swatch, and because it has the black in it, I kind of used that, and I used a lot of black throughout this build, which you've probably been able to tell already, but there's a lot of black in this build, and I normally don't do this type of black. Like, I like my neutrals, and I prefer maybe like lighter or like brown like wood tones, like that kind of natural wood, like, color scheme. And I don't really love when things are like super super dark. I love dark wood tones, but to just have like black can be a lot for me sometimes. But I feel like it works for this house really well, and I'm really happy with it, because like this is a little bit more like modern, but it's still cozy. And also, the reason I called it like a modernized country home was because I like envision that the people who live here, they bought this, and it was kind of maybe a little bit run down and stuff like that, and then when they like moved in here, they renovated it and like made it their own. And yeah, I was thinking that again, they're also a pretty like eco-friendly house, so maybe they put in like eco-friendly things and stuff like that. I don't know if what those things would be, but yeah, I don't know, I really like that idea. And I feel like the black really really suited it, and I don't know, let me know if you feel like it's too much black, but I think it ends up working pretty well. I'm actually currently working on a build, like a modern farmhouse build, which God knows when you will see that, because I am months behind on my builds. Like, I have so many builds to post, but you might see it in a couple weeks, who knows. But I'm working on that, and it's also kind of like there's a lot of black in that as well, and I kind of like it. So maybe I am in my dark era, who knows. But yeah, I think it works really well. And then for the interior, again, the color scheme I already talked about. And the other thing that I knew that I really wanted to use for this build was the counters and cabinets I used. So when I built this, I hadn't used a lot of the Home Chef Hustle like stuff pack. Like, obviously I use the appliances like all the time. Like, I almost always put the standing mixer, because I love the standing mixer. Like, as someone who loves baking, I love that so much. And then I also use like the sink all the time, and I use the waffle iron all the time and stuff like that. So I use stuff like that, but I don't use like the counters a lot. I was thinking at this point when I built this, I still have not used these counters a lot. But when I built this, I knew I wanted to use them, and it worked out perfectly, because the kind of like darker swatch of these, which has like the black countertop and like the gray kind of like drawers and stuff like that, it has these orange accents. And the same goes for like the fridge and the stove as well. And again, it has these like just really small orangey wood accents, and it just worked so well, and I'm so happy with it. Like, I feel like it just fit in, like it was meant to be, and I'm so happy with it. And then also in the kitchen, I ended up using a flooring that I don't think I've ever used. I think it is from Get Famous. Don't quote me on that. It might be for something else. I will check and I will plop up on the screen if it's not from Get Famous. If it is from Get Famous, there will be nothing on it, but I feel like it might be from Get Famous. It could also be from something else, but it's this black flooring, and then kind of between them, like it kind of looks like either linoleum or something like that, and like between each, I don't know what to call it, but like it's between each square, let's say it like that. It's this kind of like gold / orange rim, and again fits in super well, and I'm just really happy with it. Also, something else that really fit into this like color scheme was the Dream Home Decorator things, because most of the like black / it kind of looks more like a darker gray, because it's not like black, but the kind of more like darker swatches of them, the wood tone that matches that is the orange wood tone. So for example, the couch I ended up using is the modular couch that we have, which I very, 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 very rarely use, and I need to use that more often. But I very rarely use it because before last year we didn't have any pillows in the game. Like we did, but they were in like the debug menu and you had to rotate them, and it was a whole thing. But now we have the ones that we got from the Modern Luxe kit, and so now I can use these couches a little bit more, because these couches look so bare without any pillows. So yeah, I tend to not use them that much, but I need to use them more now. But anyways, I use them like in the living room. You can see that like the bottom part of the couches have this orange wood tone, and it works so well. And I think I use Dream Home Decorator chairs in the dining room as well. And I just, again, I feel like everything was just like meant to be when it came for this house. And like the Sims team knew that I at some point wanted to do this type of build, and they had put things in the game just for me. I'm obviously kidding, but I don't know, I think it ends up looking really, really good, and I'm really happy with this build, and I hope you guys like it too, because again, I've never really done with this color scheme before. So yeah, I'm just really happy with it, and I hope you guys like it as well. Again, it might be a little bit weird that they have to go up a ladder to go upstairs, but it's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I think it's fine. Also, something that I really wanted to do with this build was, obviously it's a modernized like country home, so I wanted it to be modern, but then like some things maybe look like they have been thrifted, and then they have like painted them to look more modern. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't really have an example like on the top of my head, but I feel like you might be able to see that throughout the build. Like I wanted there to still be a little bit like a few rustic elements. So yeah, I hope you guys can see that. I don't know if you can, but that's at least what I was thinking when I was building this. Also, I think I cut this out. I'm not 100% sure, but just in case I did, I wanted to mention this. Again, I've been pre-recording, so like I'm not 100% sure what I edited out from this build, and I feel like I might have edited this out, but on the upstairs kind of landing area, when you walk up that little ladder, which again, I'm sorry, I just could not fit a staircase in this house for the life of me. When you walk up that ladder, in the little landing area up there, I didn't really know what to do with that space, but in the end ended up being kind of like a skill building place like for the kid, which I feel like is just really, really sweet, because throughout this house there's not really like, I don't know, like toys for the kids to have or stuff like that, so I still wanted it to be like I don't know, some kids stuff in the house. So in the landing area I ended up putting the keyboard, which obviously the rest of the family can also use, and then I think I ended up putting either the drawing table or the kind of like science table. I don't 100% remember, and in case I did cut it out, there will be screenshots of it in the screenshots, so don't worry. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that in case I did cut it out. I don't really remember. But yeah, I don't know, I think it ends up being really cute, and I like that the kid has some like, you know, things that they do out there, and yeah, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I think it's really cute. But anyways, I don't think there's anything else I wanted to mention about the build specifically. If there is something that I see while I'm building, I will bring it up, but yeah, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I really don't mind responding. And like I've said in my last video, and possibly I never mentioned the video before, but this video is pre-recorded. I'm recording this the week before it goes out, over like, it's currently Monday, the week before this goes out, so I'm very much ahead of time, and I won't be home when you're seeing this. I will be in a foreign country, and so yeah, if the responses are not as quick as normal, that would be why. But I can still like respond to comments and stuff like that, so don't worry, I will still be responding. But if they're not maybe as quick as normal, it's because I'm not home and I am busy doing other things. I have so much planned, like it's insane. I think actually the day this comes out, I will have been gone for like 2 days even where I'm at. So like it's like I'm going and I'm staying in one place, but then me and like my friends and like the people I'm with, we're gonna go to one place and be there for like, we're gonna be there over the day, and then we're going to another friend's house and like staying that for the night. So yeah, it's a lot. And which like for a lot of people it won't sound like a lot, but for me, who spends all her time in her little bunker, which is her room, it's gonna be a lot, but I think it's gonna be really, really fun, and I'm so excited about it, and I just can't wait. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited. I know I've been talking about this so much, and when I get back, I'm gonna be talking about it even more, because I'm probably gonna have a lot of different stories to talk about, and like, you know, whatever, which none of you care. I know that. I mean, let me know in the comments if you care, but I really highly doubt that any of you care. But I feel like you guys are my friends, and sometimes I like catching you up on what's going on in my life and, you know, what I'm doing. And I've actually gotten comments before on how they like it, like it's kind of like listening to a friend, and I really like that. It makes me really happy, so I hope you guys don't mind. I feel like if you're subscribed here, at least, like, unless it's like just a video you came across on like your recommended page or something like that, which if that is true, hi, I'm Mal. I'm surprised you've stuck through this long, but hi, I'm Al. It's really nice to have you here. Welcome to the chill chaos. But if you've been subscribed before, like, I feel like you would have subscribed knowing that this is what I'm like. But I don't know, maybe actually you just watch my videos on mute. I don't know. And if you do, you have no idea what I'm saying right now. You have no idea that I'm talking specifically towards you. I had a discussion with my mom about this a couple of days ago, because we were talking about like videos and stuff like that, like things we do to fall asleep, because both me and my mom watch stuff to fall asleep. Like she watches Sudoku videos and I watches some like questionnaire videos and like ASMR videos. When it comes to ASMR, I don't get tingles, and I don't really like some of the classic ASMR, but there's some ASMR out there where it's just like basically they're talking either in a soft voice or just like whispering, and they're just like asking questions, you know, stuff like that. And that just kind of calms me, because like it's lower volume, it calms me, and then the questionnaire thingy makes me not overthink because I'm trying to fall asleep. So it's really nice, but I'm not really, I don't know, I've never gotten tingles, stuff like that, sadly. But yeah, anyways, we were talking about like things we do when we fall asleep, and it kind of got us into YouTube and stuff like that, because again, she watches Sudoku videos to fall asleep. So she was talking about that, and then kind of I'm just like, oh yeah, but the same thing is like with my channel and stuff like that. And she was like, oh yeah, I've realized that and I was like, I forgot you watch my videos sometimes, because my mom does watch my videos at times. Not all of them. She used to when I started out, which was really, really nice, but now she doesn't as much, which I like. I don't like when people, well, I like when people watch my videos, and I like obviously interacting with you guys and talking about my videos, but as soon as like my friends or my family bring it up, I'm like, no, I am out of here. I don't want to talk about it. I don't like knowing that you guys hear about it, because sometimes I talk about things and I'm like, oh no, I don't want my family to know that I'm talking about that. Or, you know, stuff like that. And so I was like, all right, you watch my videos. But then she was like, yeah, but I watch them on mute. Like, and I was like, all right, yeah, you do. Because my mom doesn't like voiceovers, and she doesn't like music in the background either. She just rather sit there and have silence, which I don't understand. I'm the type of person, I always have something going on in my ears. Like, I cannot have it and be quiet. If I'm watching something, obviously that is it. But otherwise, I will have music on 24/7. Like, if you're in my Discord server, if you ever go on there and you look at like my activity thingy on like my profile, there's always music going. And if there's not music going, it's either because I'm like listening to a podcast and that doesn't show up, or I am asleep. Like, those are literally the two only options, because even if I am watching a show, I would just mute my music, so it will still be playing. So I don't understand my mom just being able to watch my videos without any sound whatsoever, or like any videos, because she does that with a lot of different videos. Like, I've talked about before how she's an amazing painter, and she watches painting videos without any sound sometimes, and I'm like, mother, what are you doing? I love you, but what? Are you good? Because for me, that just doesn't comprehend. But yeah, so maybe there are people watching my videos, like other people watching my videos on mute. I don't know, because obviously I know that she does, which, I mean, I still appreciate it. I really do appreciate if someone's watching my videos even on mute. It's still like, I love you so much for that, but I don't know. Anyways, I don't even know how, like, I don't remember how I got on this trail. Oh, never mind. I do show you the upstairs. I didn't think I showed you the landing part. I do. I have no idea how well the voiceover is syncing up, but on my screen, I can currently see me starting to do the landing area. So I just told you all about that landing area for nothing. Well, not really nothing, I guess, but yeah. Anyways, what else is there to talk about? I don't know. I am really tired. Again, it's Monday, and I don't know, I've been sleeping weirdly. I think it's just because I am like super excited to go, and I am a very anxious person. I have like a lot of trouble with with anxiety, and anytime I try to fall asleep, obviously I do again like watch videos for me to not overthink when I try to sleep, but because I'm traveling, I feel like as soon as my brain wanders even for a second, I keep thinking like, oh, I need to remember to bring this, I need to remember to do that, like, you know, like stuff like that, because I'm a very anxious person. I also hate being late, and I know for a fact that my boyfriend who I'm going to see, he, like, him and his entire family, they don't care about being late, which stresses me out because I'm like, we have things to do when I'm there. Again, like, we're going to a couple of parties, and like we're doing stuff, and I'm doing stuff with his family, and like obviously they're picking me up from the airport, and I'm just like, guys, you better not be late, because that will stress me the freaking hell out. Like, I do not do well when being late. So I feel like I just keep being stressed about things, and I don't need to be, but I am a very, again, anxious person in nature. Like, it's absurd how anxious I am, and I do have medication to like manage my anxiety, which is good. And I'm just like, if I ever get off like medication for my anxiety, things will not go well, because I'm an extremely anxious person. Like, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. And I worry about things I don't need to worry about. I very rarely like worry about myself. I just worry about other people, which is a great quality to have, but like when it's to the point you don't care about yourself, you just care about other people, not as much, because you do need to care about yourself, which, if you're the same type of person as me, this is your reminder that it's okay to take time for yourself. It's okay to just do whatever you want and not what other people want, because sometimes that's really, really important, for you to just be playing the game you want instead of like, I don't know, maybe what all your friends want to do. And maybe it's okay to say no to go out with your friends and stay home and just play Sims. That is totally fine. You do what you feel is right. Take it from someone who has the same issues as you. It's okay to take a break, and it's okay to also ask for help. That is really important. It took me so long to realize that, and I'm still struggling like with asking for help, but it really is important. And this is your, I don't know, this is your sign. It's okay to ask for help. And if you never have anyone to talk to, honestly, you can message me on Discord or on Twitter, and I will happily be there for you, because I care about you all, and I know that sometimes you just need someone who's a complete stranger to like listen to you, or like someone who, I don't know, like doesn't know your family or your friends and stuff like that. You just need to rant to someone, and I'll happily be there for you. I really don't mind, because I know how important it can be. But anyways, once again, I do not remember how I got on this. All right, I said that I was tired. Right, yeah, I am tired. I have not been sleeping well, because I keep just thinking about stress things and, you know, whatever. But I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, I'm just prepping for this trip. I leave later this week, and I'm prepping for it, and I am trying to pre-record everything. I think I mean, I've edited all the videos that are gonna go up, so I know I'm fine with that. But then I just need to remember to record the voiceovers. I forget that sometimes, because I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but an issue I will sometimes have is that like I will have like a week's video like ready, and I just need to do the voiceover. And again, I think I mentioned it last week's video, but I usually do the voiceover for the video that's going out on the like Wednesday or Thursday before it goes out, which I upload on Friday. So it's just like a couple of days so like I can talk about Sim stuff. Which, by the way, if there's been like any Sims news or like kits or whatever, I'm not talking about it. Oh, sorry, I hit my desk. That would be why, because currently, as I'm sitting here, we have not gotten any news or any announcement or anything like that. But what was I talking about? Right, I usually just record like a couple of days before my video goes out, but then sometimes I will like finish editing the video like next week's video the weekend before, you know, and then I either forget to do the voiceover or something happens and I'm like I don't have time to do or stuff like that. So sometimes I will be like, dang it, I like finished editing it, which is the hard part, but I just forgot to record. So it's kind of the bane of my existence sometimes, so I just need to remember to do the voiceovers for my pre-recorded videos, and then I need to remember to schedule all my social media posts and stuff like that. If you want to download this build, by the way, it will be up on the gallery. It's probably been up on the gallery for like over a week now, so if you'd already seen it there, you knew this build was coming. But yeah, the tray files probably won't be out for another couple of weeks when I'm back home, so sorry about that, because I have a tendency to also forget that, which is really funny because I have a really good memory, but when it comes to just like normal stuff like that, I forget about them. I forget about tasks I need to do. I remember weird things, but I do not remember the things I need to remember, which is the bane of my existence. But yeah, anyways, I don't know what to talk about. We're almost done with the video, so like it's fine. But yeah, also I feel like I said before that the kids room is space themed. It's not as space themed as some of my other kids room have been in the past, but I liked having a few different like space elements in it. I thought it was really cute. Anyways, that's basically it for this video, and I really hope you liked it. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!